How long does it take to get to site once you get the job? Conversations about mining. Hi, Jess. How are you?
Great, thanks, Andrew. How are you going?
Yeah, really good. Thanks.
Before we start, I just want to say a big shout out to Travis. He was one of our resume clients who got a role in Tanami as an underground truck operator. So, congratulations, Travis.
Well done, Travis. Congratulations. So this is a question that we get a lot, and this can be, sort of how long's a bit of string for some of the companies, but how long does it normally take to get to site once you get offered a job?
I think it's dependent on what job you've applied for. I know going in as a chef or as like an experienced offsider or truck operator, sometimes I would, get offered a job and they'd be ringing like, when can you fly out? Like tomorrow, the next day, like how much time do you need? Whereas for a traineeship or an entry level role and sometimes utility roles, things like that, you may get that letter of offer and you may be so excited and then not hear a peep out of them again for, a few weeks up to a few months. I know, especially with the traineeship roles, people, it can be up to kind of 6 months depending. So usually what they do is when you are accepted into a traineeship, it's not actually a position that's sitting there waiting for you, it's into their pool. And so then I think it depends on when something comes up. And at the moment, we were chatting off camera, actually. You were saying something about we're not really sure what would be happening with traineeships at this point in time, especially for, say, BHP on their nickel and iron ore sites.
So with the traineeships in the past, I've seen them go sideways for people, unfortunately, especially when there's a bit of a downturn happening around what's going on. So it wouldn't be the first time that BHP will have called everybody up and said there's no jobs anymore. And the same thing, unfortunately, happens on our side of the fence as well. So there's a few companies around that are contractors, so like McMahon's and Burncart and Barminco, and they work for clients. And we've had a few situations over the last couple of years where people have been offered jobs and then they've been called up and said, oh, no, the client doesn't want you on site. And so for whatever reason, the job offer's been withdrawn. So you just need to be careful about that. I'd normally tell people that you don't actually have the job until you're standing on site doing the job, if you know what I mean. Until you make it to site, you still should be looking for work. And from my perspective as being an old miner who's a bit superstitious, what we used to do back in the day, or what we see people still do now, is that you don't stop looking for a job until you make it to site. If you stop looking for work and you stop applying for stuff, even though you've got something, sometimes that job ends up falling through if you stop looking for work. Whereas if you keep looking for work, then everything will sail through and it'll all be fine. So I just try and tell people to just keep looking, even though you might have accepted a role, just keep looking just to make sure that, that all goes forward and it all works out. Because, sometimes it doesn't. Things change, things happen. And especially at the moment with what's going on in iron ore with the price and a couple of the big mines shutting down and nickel and lithium and all that sort of stuff, it could be, you might get blindsided, unfortunately, or have the rug pulled out from underneath you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you need to wait like at least until your flights are booked. You need uniforms, flights booked, like ready to fly. And even then that can change. Like it's true. Sometimes they'll call you up a few days before and say, oh no, sorry, we don't need you. So definitely always keep looking and don't quit a job. If you have another job, like if you're working in town or you're doing something else or you're working as a utility and you're wanting to make that jump, don't go and quit that job and then start applying. Keep that job going until they give you a contract and you've got flights booked as long as you can, I say. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
if you're a casual,
Yep,
up until
definitely.
3 days before and
Yeah.
hand your notice in, because we have so many people do that. I've already quit my job, but BHP offered me a traineeship, so I handed my notice in, but now I haven't heard from them. It's been 4 weeks. It's like, yeah, and they don't, yeah, they're under no obligation to tell you anything in any given time frame either.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really weird. With what we do at the moment with the Hard Rock Underground, they're going to mobilise you straight away. They need bums in seats. So it's going to be like what Jess said at the start of the video, where they want you on site as quickly as possible. But yeah, like I've got a mate that's a shift boss that's just looking, he had another mate that got him a job that was going to be overseas, but then the client said that they didn't want him, so he didn't bother looking for another job. And now he's gone and found another job done all the medicals for that and got that job. And then his mates come back to him and said, oh, the client wants you again now. So, yeah, shit like that happens all the time. It just, and then it's like, well, what do I want to do? Do I want to go down that path, or am I just going to go with the job that I've just got? And, 9 times out of 10, you go with the job that you just got, and you don't worry about the people that would be mucking you around, unless it's, significantly more money and worth the muck around. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is stuff like that happens all the time. It's just part of mining.
It does. And yeah, there's no, we can't, unfortunately, we can't give you an answer to this question really. Just, yeah.
Yeah. All we can do is
just
talk about the crazy experiences that we've had in the past, and you can draw some knowledge on that.
Don't drop everything. I've had jobs happen, especially working off-siting and chefing, like when you're in high demand and they're desperate for you to get there, where you'll ring and fly out the next day. Or I've been on site for Sodexo and they're ringing me saying, can you go to this other site? And I'm like, I'm already on a site. And they're like, well, can you just come to this other one? Like, we'll give you more money. Like, they're more in need there. Like, if you're in a job like that, or you're a trade, you'll get chopped and changed and jumped around. And if you're happy to do it, do it. And if you're not, don't.
Yep.
Just keep in whatever job you're in while you're applying, unless you can afford to not be working for a few months and it doesn't really matter to you. Keep working and just keep applying, keep at it. And, you might have that traineeship sitting there. So just keep applying for all the other jobs. Something else will come up. You'll get a bit of experience. You may not even want the traineeship in the end, but
just be aware that things are changing within the industry, and it is what it is at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. So if you've got any more questions you'd like to ask, please send them through. And if you could like the video and share it around, that would be wonderful. Thanks.
Thanks.